Oh,
Anything interesting to talk about before I get into my last segment?
anything interesting? Um,
I know you're a very boring person, so.
yeah. Is that a compliment or?
Like tomorrow, I know for a fact what you will be doing. Tomorrow will be a normal day for you.
Is it not a normal day for you?
No, it's a normal day. It's a Tuesday.
Oh,
It's Valentine's Day.
and
I'm just saying that tomorrow, despite for a large portion of the population, a portion I should say, it will be, a little fun little day. But for you and
oh,
I and basically everybody I work with besides our boss, it is a normal day.
yep, normal day.
Which is interesting.
Are
Boring,
you upset
really.
by that?
What?
Are you upset by that?
It's boring.
It's boring. What
Boring.
is boring? Your attitude or the day?
The
What is
people.
boring?
The people not being in relationships. Relationships are interesting. It's interesting to learn from them. It's interesting to hear about them. And so people not being in relationships, it's boring. You know,
The relationship is boring.
no, you're not listening. I
Well, you're
said
saying the people.
people
Well, are
in.
the people boring?
No, listen to me again. The relationships are interesting. Hearing about them, learning about them, having them talk about them
Yeah.
not being in relationships is boring.
Them, the people not being in relationships are boring.
Yes, the people
Wait,
not being in relationships is boring.
the people
Because
are
they're
boring.
just regular people then at that point. There's
So
nothing
you're saying
of any
so the
substance
people.
there.
So you're saying the people are boring.
Not necessarily. They could be interesting people.
Then what is it? Then what are you defining as it? Who is it? What is it?
I just defined it if you would listen. It by them, the people being boring. What is boring is them not being in relationships. Is the fact that they are
That
just
doesn't.
normal
It can't.
people.
No,
Let
it
me
can't.
finish. Let me finish before you interrupt.
You're making it sound like a concept.
It is a concept. A relationship is a
No,
concept. So therefore, if someone
no.
is not, it is a concept.
But that's why it's confusing. I want to be a person, place, or thing, not a concept.
It's a concept. A concept is an idea. A noun is an idea.
But a noun exists.
As
A
does an
concept is
idea.
no, an idea is metaphysical.
As is a concept. It's a
concept is
societal
metaphysical.
construct. We
But I
made
don't-
it because
don't
we
want you to
need
use
it to define something.
But I don't want you to use it to describe it.
I don't have a name for the non-single status. Fine. People being single is boring. People should be in relationships. It's interesting that way. I think it's interesting.
No, you need to use a different word. I don't like how you say that.
What?
It just does not sound right.
What doesn't sound right?
Making saying people not in relationships is boring.
It's true.
No.
They resume a normal, boring life. They could be interesting, and sure, maybe they are. But
Yes.
it's not. There's no drama. There's no tea. There's no beef. There's no.
That's why it's confusing though.
Oh, we went on this
the
exciting
people
date.
are not boring.
Instead, it's the same old story where it's like, oh yeah, I went to the bar, got drunk off my ass, and went home. What? What kind of life is that?
No, I think it's better to say the people are not as interesting as they could be.
No, because even in the relationship itself is the interesting part. The people in the relationships are still boring as sin.
Oh, why?
What do you mean, why?
Yeah, Oh, that is what I mean, though.
The whole of society cannot be interesting. If the whole of society were interesting, there would be no interesting.
Oh,
If everyone is interesting, then everyone is boring.
what? If everyone is interesting, if everyone was doing something unique,
Yes.
if
Yes.
everyone
Because
is not
remember,
the same,
everybody is unique. But people can still be boring. Therefore, being unique is still boring. However,
back up.
it's a gradient of
Well,
uniqueness.
hold up. People being unique, how is that boring?
They're uniquely boring.
But
Look, society exists.
you're boringness.
It's a broken logic. It's
Think about that, right? Oh my gosh, think about that, right? I'd be like, that's an insult at another level. You are you are so boring. No. Your boringness is unique.
There you
The
go.
way in which you are boring is unique.
There you go.
You are boring in a very unique way.
But the whole thing, the whole idea, the whole thing about people being boring and people being unique and the logic behind that if everyone's interesting, then nobody's interesting is
No, what? Because see, if everyone is, if because see, I would argue that everyone today, well, no, not everyone, but if everyone were to be unique and nothing were to be related amongst themselves, then that means that no two people would be alike.
no two people are alike.
What?
No two people are alike.
I
It's the
don't know,
whole
identical
basis
twins?
of genetics and humanity.
I don't know. Identical twins beg to differ.
They still have different interests. They still have different
But
hobbies,
but what I'm saying
different
is that they could,
fingerprints, different
no,
DNA.
they could, but imagine two identical twins that did not. They did everything
No,
together.
yes, they exist, but they're still different. Have you never seen?
But no, you're missing the idea. You're missing the point that I'm trying to make. My point. See, you're arguing that they're still interesting, which is my point.
Saying they're interesting. Look, you need to listen to. I need to
still
be able to
interesting.
finish where I was getting to. What I was getting at is that the idea that if everyone is interesting, then nobody's interesting. That logic, that concept, is a
Does not make
fallacy.
sense.
It's wrong.
Yes, it is wrong.
Because everyone already is unique, yet they continue to be boring. It's true, but it's also false in the fact that people can be the same. It's not, they actually can't be, but by your logic, they can be. They can't be. They physically cannot be. Their DNA is fundamentally different. Their fingerprints are different. Their teeth are different.
I think the other problem with this is that boringness is an opinion.
I think boringness comes down
I mean,
to
you can justify someone being boring, but someone may disagree.
Average
with your logic
is-
and
I
say
think-
that those reasons are the very thing that makes them interesting.
See, I think what it happens is where we accept averageness. At what point do we? Because everybody, to a point, probably has something in common. You know, they're both humans, right?
A lot of people work a 9 to 5.
It's at what point do we call them normal? So at what point do we draw the line between, yep, they're normal, they're not normal? At what point do we say, yep, that's too much normal. They're too much like the rest of society, and now they're boring. Some people draw that line literally nowhere. They just accept averageness. They want them to be average. They're the people that, that show up in the love story. They marry their high school sweetheart. They have a son, a daughter, a white picket fence, dog, cat. Live in the suburbs of Ohio. Their lives.
I think the way that it can be portrayed is how they portray themselves and how they talk about them is how they talk about their hobbies and what they do in their free time, right? Because what you do in your free time is what defines you. Because everything about you, you know, you work to do the things that you want to be able to do. So how you talk about your hobbies, you can portray them in a boring way, and so people will say, "Oh, you're boring," because of how you're portraying them.
But some people's hobbies
But
are just boring.
but someone could also just be very enthusiastic about them and make you feel a sense of their passion for it. And so their seemingly boring hobby could all of a sudden sound interesting because of how they portray it.
Unfortunately, it's not
I think
entirely
that is
true
possible.
because no matter how charismatic you are, I don't think I could ever give two shits about sports.
See, I beg to. I think I
No.
well. To be fair, I don't think sports counts as a hobby. That's like a pastime.
What's the difference?
A
Guys getting
hobby
together, drinking beer on the weekends, watching sports, talking about sports is the same
is
concept of guys getting drunk and going out and using telescopes. It's the same thing.
no, but no. Okay, no. But see, the thing is, no, it is. It's sort of the same thing, but not really. See, to me,
It's the same thing. They talk about sports statistics. You talk about telescopes.
I still don't think it can. I want it to be classified as something else because they're not. Um, Typically, when people think of a hobby, the thing that comes to mind is like creating, crafting, right? Like woodworking, right? But
That's
also,
your definition.
what?
That's your
What do-
definition.
And so you're saying hobbies and pastimes should.
They're interchangeable.
No, I'm saying they shouldn't be. We should have two different words for a reason, in my opinion.
Holy crap, these things sound the exact same. Okay, according to LinkedIn, as defined by Webster, a pastime is an activity that you do to help you pass the time. Okay. Whereas a hobby is defined as a pursuit outside your work or career that is done for relaxation. Those sound the same. I'm not just going to
That's just
pass
how they're
time by doing something
defining it.
boring.
What?
Like the only case could be that your pastime could actually be boring as sin, but you do it anyways. Actually, no, wait, it says enjoyable. They're the same. Okay, so the only difference between the pastime and a hobby is that a hobby is relaxing, but a pastime it might not be.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're relating.
So they could
raising your
literally
blood
be.
pressure.
So they literally are this. That is the only difference. Otherwise, they could be the same thing. So as we're talking about sports, could be a pastime for somebody because maybe they're like in a.
No. Okay. Let me backtrack. Playing sports is a pastime because you cannot do it for an indefinite period of time, right? You cannot play soccer.
But you could find it relaxing.
Day.
You could find golf relaxing. It could be a pastime and a hobby.
Yeah,
but
okay. There are some sports that could cross. Yes.
Hold on. Any sport. I think it. Listen. I think it defines on the person. Because as where somebody might find sports statistics or let's say fantasy football, they might find that enjoyable, but it might not necessarily be relaxing because it's stressful. Because you have to handle people's money, you have to trade players. It might not be relaxing, but you enjoy it. You enjoy the stress. Okay? Some people, though, they don't give two craps about it, but they're just there to have fun. They're enjoying it. For them, it's a hobby.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about playing sports.
It still works. Some people will play sports to just pass the time.
No, because you can't do it indefinitely. A hobby should be something you could do for an entire day.
That's not what the definition says, though.
I don't care what the definition says.
Well, then you can't base your logic off something. You can't just make up rules. There's a defined definition. You can't just make up a definition. Like, nope, it has to be done all day. What? No.
No
You
one
can't
follows
look
those
at you
with every
can't look
single.
at telescopes
No,
all day. Therefore, is
I'm
that not
just
a
saying
hobby?
that. No, but I want there to be some sort of standard when I use my words.
This is the standard.
No, not that standard. I want there to be a standard when I
Your
use
standard's
my
wrong,
words.
though.
What?
Society has elected that this
I
is
don't care
the.
what society says. I care what I say.
So that literally goes back to what I was saying earlier, and the fact that people find lines to draw when it comes to how boring do they want their counterparts to be. At what point are they too much like other people? Oh, they like The Office. Okay, yeah, I guess I like The Office too. I can take that. They like football. Okay, I guess that's all right. They oh, what's another boring thing that every other white girl likes? They like coffee. You know what?
Coffee.
That I'm gonna draw the line there. That's too much. I want somebody who doesn't like coffee. Or okay, maybe let's say they do like coffee. They like going to the bars. You know what? I don't like somebody that goes to the bars. You know, that's fine once in a while, but honestly, I'm not into that. They draw the line at what is boring and what is normal. They pick rungs on a ladder. Like, okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. You know what? This one is not fine. I don't like how normal they are at that point. It's too normal.
Oh,
Then they
normal,
define into more unique things. But what we consider normal, you know, we might be like, oh, going to the bar, that's not okay. Those are all these things are very normal things. But let's okay, we're too unique. But the point still stands. People draw lines of what they define as boring. And also coming back to hobbies and pastimes, yes, you can have your own definition, but society has designated that those definitions are wrong.
The whole reason thing is that we were talking about someone could make a hobby, what they do or whatever, sound interesting, and you're arguing about sports. I think you may completely disagree, but I still think someone could make what they do sound interesting to other people.
Yeah,
you
other
are not
people,
the definition
but
of
not me.
society. I don't care.
I didn't say anybody. I didn't say that they couldn't make it interesting to anybody. I mean, look at Nazi Germany. He made genocide sound really freaking cool, and everybody just went along with it.
Yeah, but my point is though,
Nobody was like, that's wrong.
That's what draws is that boringness is an opinion because of that.
Right. This whole thing's an opinion. That definition is an opinion.
Okay. Well, earlier you made it sound like you disagreed.
Yeah, because you never let me finish. There's a point to boringness. Even then, it's not an opinion. Average is by some
it's an opinion
definition boring. But some people again like I said, averageness is boring. However, it depends on your level of averageness. Some people want people to be more average. They like the actually, I don't know what's more common, fall or summer. I'm gonna assume people like summer more than they like the fall, just because I feel like more places have summer than they have fall, so they don't get to experience fall. You know, everybody. Okay. You know what? People don't like. That works. All right. I think that logic's sound enough. They believe that, you know. So there's just another thing. Like, oh, they like the summer. They like football or whatever, or basketball, whatever popular sport. Insert popular sport. They like going to the bars. They like the office. That's not a personality trait. It really, actually, people that say like, oh, you know, this person is liking the office a personality trait. Actually, it is, but it isn't. It's not a personality trait because it's stupid to say that it is. But also, in regards, it tells me who you are. It tells me that you're a basic person and that you're normal, average, painfully average, in fact, because you can't formulate a different. I mean, you like something that the general populace likes. I can't hate you for that.
Is that bad?
No, I literally just said I can't hate you for liking something that is meant to be consumed by the masses. But it also means that you have no uniqueness to your expression.
Well, no, they just made like they like The Office, but they may also like some obscure television show that you've never heard of.
Favorite, but like it's always favorite TV show, The Office. Or what do you
Well,
do too much? I watch way too much
maybe that's a
Office.
first, but their close second is something that you've never heard of.
Possibly. Possibly. And more than likely. But honestly, I think it probably should be your first, not your second. If you're going to be unique, mention that if you want people, if you want people to know who you are, don't share the thing that's like what all of society deems as, yeah, that's acceptable. Like, that's boring. Be different. Be who you are. And if that's who you are, if that's like your entire life is consuming what the rest of society is. You have an iPhone, you watch football on Sundays, you go to the bars on Saturdays, you watch The Office.
Hang on. Did you say earlier if everyone was unique, if that's boring?
Like I said, I literally, but then I also said that it's a false, that's a fallacy.
Well, you said it's a fallacy because everyone already is unique.
Yeah.
But I mean, if everyone is just inherently unique, like nothing is similar amongst them.
It'd be boring.
Aside physically.
It'd be chaos.
What?
It'd be chaos.
But everyone would be still unique.
It'd be constant war. It's like the opposite of a paradise. It's anarchy.
The opposite of a paradise?
Actually, it's anarchy. What you're suggesting is anarchy.
Everyone for themselves.
Exactly. It's anarchy. No one goes along with it. The human race would die out because no one would screw each other because, well, unless they rape each other, which is always an option.
Yeah.
Which I guess is something they could do. But
yes.
That would also suggest that they like something about somebody else. Well, I guess men like women, but women are inherently different. So that's weird. Wait, isn't that weird?
It's what weird?
So like, so opposites do attract, but opposites only attract because they need to attract in a system where sex is necessary for reproduction.
Yeah.
Because the sexes naturally need to be different, unless you're like a worm.
Yeah.
The sexes naturally need to be different. Therefore, opposites need to attract. But in reality, actually, proximity is what makes up most friendships, not actually what they have in common. It's usually yes, it's what they have in common, but usually it's a commonality of proximity. Which is why people are having a hard time making friends these days, because they don't have proximity people anymore. They work from home. They're alone all the time. They don't see other people. So they don't know how to make friends because their entire lives they made friends by having people around them. But then, when those people move away, they don't put the effort into it because they never had to put effort into a relationship before. Now they have to actually put effort into a relationship, despite the fact that they've never done that in their entire lives, because proximity friendships are over. I'm going through the same issue. My entire life, I've made friendships through proximity. Never actually probably commonalities, to a point.
Yeah. And?
It's hard. People suck. They inherently suck.
Oh, well.